Hey everyone, this is Mike of the Round Number One YouTube channel. Welcome back. Unfortunately, it's going to be another All Elite discussion episode today. I have nothing WWE related to talk about today, hopefully tomorrow. Just two topics. First, I want to talk about Jade. I promised from my last upload I would talk about Jade. And so you'll get my long-awaited comments on Jade. And then we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite's Championship Friday episode, which lost viewers. And I just want to say quickly off the bat, I foolishly ate a chocolate bar. My mouth is dry right now. I thought I had some water in the car. I don't, so hopefully I can get through this without coughing. And okay, let's start with Jade first. I gotta say, I'm very pleased with AEW, with what they've done with Jade in regards of putting the as far as making her the inaugural TBS champion, as far as making her go 60, is it 61-0 or 60-0? Prior to her being beaten by Chris Stanley, I believe it was 60-0. But in total, 500 days as TBS champion. It's a really, really impressive accolade to put on Jade Cargill, but unfortunately, they took it off from her. Unfortunately, they've ended the streak, and a lot of people can say this streak was ended probably due to the fact that she's not good in the ring. And that's the thing that I hear a lot of AEW diehards saying, oh, Jade is not good in the ring, Jade hasn't improved. They say that, and it's their right to say it, but what I don't understand is that how can you say that Jade hasn't improved and then you overlook the entire rest of the AEW women's roster, which in my opinion, the AEW's women's roster is a total negative towards the viewership, towards AEW getting new viewers to watch the product. I mean, you take a person like Britt Baker. Britt Baker, in my opinion, she's not as good as people, and she's not as good as the AEW diehards have pumped her up to be. You have Anna Jay, very beautiful like Jade, but Anna Jade is, in my opinion, she's even worse than Jade. And Anna Jade especially seems to be doing garbage hardcore matches. And then you have people like Saraya, who unfortunately very good wrestler, but not like her younger self due to injuries. And then you have just people who I just find straight up they just don't have the appeal to for a person flicking the channel and to see women's wrestling on TV and to see them on TV. I don't think they have the appeal to have that viewer stay on the channel. I'm talking about Toni Storm, people like that girl from the House of Black. I don't want to say, I want to say the parakeet girl, but I don't want to make fun of her. Ruby Riott. Unfortunately, Ruby Riott, I don't think, I don't know. She just, these women, they just don't have it, They just don't have, like I said before, the sex appeal. That's one of the main factors to gain viewership. The sex appeal. No sex appeal in AEW out of the whole roster. Maybe you got maybe one or two or women that have the sex appeal that'll probably keep viewers on, to keep new viewers to watching AEW Rampage, just by if they found it out of nowhere. And then we have Chris Statlander, for who the most part, as I said on my last show, and these are facts, she was signed to AEW in November 2019. She by the January 8th, 2020 episode of AEW Dynamite, she has not been seen on AEW Dynamite again since May 31st, 2023. Why? Is because she blew out her left knee and she blew out her right knee. She had 2 horrible ACL injuries, was out for nearly 2 years, has not shown up, has not been like a draw or a factor for Dynamite since January 8th, 2020. And you want to know how far back January 8th, 2020 goes, how the AEW roster looked like. Cody Rhodes was still part of the AEW roster in January 8th, 2020. So when you think about Chris Statlander's like disappearance off TV, and for people to be overjoyed that she came back and beat Jade, like, I don't get it. For the most part, Chris Statlander is a nobody. Like, please don't take it personally. I'm just, as a character, she's a nobody. She hasn't been on the main AEW programming for at least 2 years. So for her to, I just don't understand the appeal of Chris Statlander. I was talking about this on the last episode. I'll talk about it here again. I mean, for a woman who was guaranteed a huge push upon her arrival to AEW, for the people in the back, for Tony Khan to want to see this Chris Statlander push still come to fruition is ridiculous. I mean, she's blown out both of her legs, both of her knees, and you know, the most logical thing would be Chris Statlander's back to test her durability in a feud with Jade, which is not happening because apparently Jade is taking time off, and Chris Statlander is going forward of being the TBS champion, and you know, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. The appeal of Chris Statlander, especially after her blowing out both of her knees, to give her the championship, to build up Jade to become a legit women's attraction for AEW, to have that destroyed, 500 days as champion, 60-0, to have that destroyed for a woman coming back who hasn't proved her durability, but she is liked in the back. I said this about Chris Statlander somewhere on the internet, and if you, on a wrestling news site, and if you see it, it's me who said that. Chris Statlander is a friend that is also friends of the Young Bucks, so you could probably understand why she is universally loved in AEW. So I like to say congratulations to Jade. You had a fantastic run so far in AEW, and a lot more people should be showing you support. A lot more people should be congratulating you, but unfortunately that isn't the case. So I'm sorry about that, and we'll see you when you return. Now, very quickly, let's talk about this June 2nd Championship Friday edition of AEW Rampage, which, according to WrestleNomics, averaged 350,000 viewers. The total viewership was down 18% from the May 26th episode, which averaged 436,000 viewers. I said before, I probably never said it on this podcast more clearly, but AEW Rampage is a shit show. There's no direction in that show. It's full of random matches with nobodies. It's a shit show, okay? And I can't believe that they actually ran a show that had no AEW belts being defended. They ran this show with the AAA Mega Championship, the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, the ROH Championship, and then I'm like, what relation does Tony Khan own all these companies? I know he acquired ROH from Sinclair, but I just don't get running a Rampage show with no AEW with no AEW titles being defended. It's ridiculous. And for TNT to be paying Tony Khan to continue on with this shit show and actually run a show which doesn't even promote AEW. It's ridiculous. Only thing I could say is, the charity that Tony Khan is showing will not be reciprocated by these companies. Will AAA have a show with AEW championships in the main event? No. Will New Japan have a show with the AEW championship as its main event? No. Can ROH have ROH cannot have a show, apparently, because Warner Brothers apparently doesn't want AEW champions to be defended on ROH, but ROH champions can be defended on AEW. It's ridiculous, but that's how there's supposedly some kind of exclusivity cause going on. And a lot of people wonder why putting on a shit show like this, it makes you realize why WWE and New Japan haven't done any co-branded shows. There's nothing in it for WWE unless New Japan is paying WWE to run a Forbidden Door show in Japan, in North America. Like AAA is a non-existent brand in North America. ROH is non-existent in North America, especially they're not even on television anymore. And New Japan averages a weekly 0.00 demo rating and is watched by less than 41,000 viewers on Access TV, the same channel as TNA Impact. So shows like this should never ever happen again. I mean, I just can't believe it, Anyways, I'd like to end this podcast, and hopefully tomorrow I can upload something that's non-AEW related. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.